Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before-published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. My name is Sean.
And I'm Missy.
And today, Missy, what are we going to talk about today?
Strange Darling, that just came out this past weekend.
So we're going to go spoiler-free completely. We're not going to do the thing where we talk spoilers at all because
This movie...
Don't watch a fucking trailer. Don't even look at the fucking poster. Like, just nothing. Just, in fact, hire someone to blindfold you, to drive you there and lead you in by the hand, sit you down. Now, you don't want to do a Demons 1 thing, like where the guy in the movie theater that's blind, you to have the blindfold taken off. But, like, it's going to be hard to talk about this, so this won't be a long episode, but I really want to make sure, as I know you do, I think people need to see this fucking movie in the theater.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I also agree with, no spoilers. You want to know as little about this movie as possible. I was waiting for it for months. I had seen a trailer once in the theater, like months ago, and for me, Kyle Gallner is one of those actors that if I see his name, I'll watch it anyways. I love him. He picks very interesting, he picks very interesting stories to do, unique movies, and I think he's outstanding. And he loves horror, and he does a lot of it. And then the other lead, Willa Fitzgerald, I love her from Scream, the TV series. She's like the final girl in that, the one that ran on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, every time I've seen her, she's always been the girl next door. And, just from the trailer, this is a really different role for her. She's not the girl next door.
Right.
This movie, I knew I was in for a treat the minute it started, and you get a message that says it's all shot in 35 millimeter film. The movie is gorgeous. It's got a real gritty grindhouse feel to it that's just captivating.
Yeah.
The first film, this is Giovanni Ribisi, the actor's debut as a cinematographer, and he knocks it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, he does, and that was the only thing I knew about this movie. I don't even remember if I'd seen a trailer for this. The only thing I knew was, and I couldn't remember what I knew about it, and as soon as the credits rolled, I'm like, that's what put it on my radar months ago, was seeing something about his first debut, or his debut as a cinematographer. So, and you're right, like, it's fucking gorgeous.
It's fucking gorgeous, and I'm always fascinated by the cinematography anyways, and I remember seeing something online that he was doing this, so that also had put it on my radar. But this is one of those movies that you sit down, you watch it. I was in immediately. it takes you for a hell of a ride. It keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yep.
There were a couple times where I'm like, oh, I think I know what's going on. I'd predict something, and then 5 minutes later you get another curveball that you didn't see coming at all.
Oh, totally. I mean, and it's an hour and 37 minutes. And other than, I felt like the opening scene, the opening was a little weird for me, and I was unsure how I was going to feel about it because there's a kind of a protracted, I don't remember if it was slow motion exactly image with the where the credits go over, and then they kind of stop and then start back up with that image in a way from a different perspective. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, what's happening? But other than that, the minute this fucking movie starts, it just doesn't stop. I mean, it has a relentless, very frenetic feeling to everything about it. And
Yeah, it's not it's at an hour and 37 minutes. It's very snappy,
yeah, it's super snappy.
but you never feel like you're not getting character development or
No, not at
you've
all.
got. I mean, it mainly focuses on the two leads, and like you're never bored. You never know what's coming. And this is one of those movies where sometimes they'll use odd formats and it works against the film. In this case, I think it works very much for it.
It does. And I would just say at first I wasn't sure it was going to, but it totally does. So anybody out there, like if you see it and you're like, wait a minute, like it all comes out in the wash. Like really, there's like a point where it really, and you're like, oh, there was literally no other way to do this.
Right. It works very well because it's got this kind of cat and mouse back and forth game play to it. They show the story in a non-chronological way that keeps you on the back foot the whole time
Yeah, well said.
and really immerses you. Like I think this is, in my opinion, a pretty much perfect film. And
yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, it's skyrocketed. I have no doubt that this is my favorite movie of the year. This is the movie to beat.
That's always a good feeling. So written and directed by J.T. Molnar, who I am completely unfamiliar with as far as like he did a movie called Outlaws and Angels that I feel like I heard of, but I don't remember, but so really like I think this put this guy on the map. Like I think JT Molnar will do something else that we will see on a big screen fairly soon.
I meant to look him up and forgot, but yeah, I think it's pretty much a perfect film. I mean, when it's violent, it's effective. When, but it without ever feeling like it's not character driven. You get some fantastic conversation and insight. Like your two leading people feel very deep, and you care about what's happening, and you want to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the
They were
whole
both
time you're
so
on
good.
the back foot. But
Kyle Gallner. I mean, it's funny
I
because
love him.
I remember him from he's Cassidy Beaver Casablancas in Veronica Mars, and it's like
Okay.
it's one of my favorite shows, and he's he's a kid in it, and he's fantastic in it. His character arc is really fucked up in a way that like is shocking when you're watching the show. Like there's shit that happens where you're like, oh my God. And he totally pulls it off. And his face has been like ingrained in my brain ever since that show. And, I mean, he was in Smile last year. I thought he was fucking great.
Yep.
I mean, I think he's going to continue to be a presence on the big screen. And I think that's fucking great.
I agree. And he obviously loves horror because he does a lot of them. He does a lot of horror.
Of it, yeah.
I mean, he's also great. The Cleansing Hour, The Passenger.
Oh, is he in Cleansing Hour?
Yep, he's one of the main characters.
Okay, so now maybe I will watch it. That's the movie on Shudder we talked about, right? Okay.
Because you've got the two guys that do the exorcism podcasting.
Yeah.
One of them.
Okay, so now maybe I will watch that because I know that was like I had given it we talked about doing it on Shutter on that, and with on Shutter, if one of us doesn't like it, we won't do it. It's not really a review show; it's like a recommend show. And you and Anthony both told me to give it another shot, but the first like time I tried to watch it, I just so anyway, so that I was thinking maybe I should give it another shot. I might have been, I
It's
might have jumped to a
really,
conclusion.
yeah, I love that one. And as much as, because I think you had a very similar reaction to me when we both saw Late Night with the Devil.
Hmm.
If if you liked that, this uses a lot of elements of that, and I think Cleansing Hour does it better. And Cleansing
Okay.
Hour did it first.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, he's just outstanding in everything I've seen him in. He's Quentin in Elm Street 2010, which anybody who listens to the show knows I love, but nobody else
Hmm.
does. He's great. And he's one of those names that if I see his name, I'll just watch it.
And then Willa Fitzgerald, I knew her from something, but I could not place it. And it's she's the young Madeline in Fall of the House of Usher, the Flanagan that was just on.
Oh,
And
I forgot about that.
yeah,
But she's, she's one because of, sometimes there's those actors where they nail a part so well every time you see them, they're just that person.
yeah, yeah.
I loved the Scream TV series, and she's always Emma to me. But
Okay.
I really like the actress, and she did a fantastic job here.
Yeah, she's very impressive. I mean, they're both great, but I feel like there's more required of her a little bit. And man, I don't know. But so I'm, I don't know. Is this still playing by you?
I mean, it just came out on Thursday. I hope so.
I know, but I'm always worried. So let's see.
I I didn't uh I didn't get a chance to check any of that stuff. I didn't think of
So by me in Clarksville, as of new movies coming out, it looks like on Thursday.
Thursday.
So on Friday the 30th, this is just playing at 9:45 p.m.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that's how it's going out there, then it's probably the same around here.
It might not be. You might have one or two more showings, but I don't know how it did. I just want people to
I
go
don't
see it because
either.
I think they'll enjoy it and I think it deserves to be seen on a big screen.
It absolutely yeah, so if you have any interest in seeing this movie, if you can see it before the weekend flip, it's for the best. Um, I think that it absolutely deserves to be seen. It's the best movie I've seen this year. It it's kind of got a good bit of something for everybody. It's not a straight up like horror movie. There is effective violence, but there's a lot of story here. There's a lot of
Yeah,
character development. This story would not work if the two leads did not have chemistry and were not fantastic actors.
yeah,
Everything hinges on them.
yeah.
Um, and it's it's excellent. This is the movie you want to see in a theater if you can.
Agreed. So go see it. So that's Strange Darling. This is the Horror Vision. I'm Sean.
And I'm Missy.
A pandemic of violence floods the streets of major cities as cases of the media dubbed murder virus MV20 soar, causing those infected to go on killing sprees. Caught in the middle, police detective Angela Miller finds her only trustworthy ally in the self-proclaimed psychic PI Gerald Henry. As the two try to navigate the violence, they are drawn into New Age guru Abramelin Harvest's plot to heal the planet. Harvest's missive?
The world is sick, and humanity is the infection.
The cure? Murder. From the twisted mind of Sean C. Baker, author of of a Collection of Desires, and Shadowplay, Book 1, Kim and Jesse, comes his most vicious novel yet, Murder Virus. Available where books are